Oh, Lord. Yes. Hi. I am definitely ready. Yes. Hello, everybody. Hi. Thank you all for coming. I am absolutely delighted to be here and in such a kind of illustrious reading series. I was kind of looking at the names of all the people who've read and feeling extremely nervous. But here we go. So I'm going to read 3 things tonight. There is a short one, a long one, and then a short one again. 2 from the book I'm writing and 1 from the book I have coming out this year. So the first one, as an act of defiance towards the fact that I am having a fucking dry January, boo, I'm going to start with a short poem about excess. This is called Vomit Sonnet. So who has written well on being sick? Nobody has. I don't mean when you lose control of it. I mean like when you stick your fingers down your throat because you choose. Last night, I finished off a glass of Kir Royale, although I knew I'd have to chuck it up. Sometimes you simply persevere. There's joy and consequence. What stingy fuck, what stolid tightwad would refuse assent to blessedness because you have to pay? I drank the Kir and sighed, and then I went and knelt and purged myself. That is the way of things. Don't claim that isn't how things go. I am an expert on this stuff. I know. So yeah, that's the first. It's from a. Oh, it's nice to see you clapping. You welcome to unmute as well. I don't mind background noise. That's the first. It's from a book of short poems I'm finishing off at the moment called Special Occasions, and that is also where the second one I'm going to read is. A bit longer, the second one, but I was specially requested, so I can always blame somebody else. It takes the form of a letter written in sections over the course of about a year, and kind of introdiegetically, this letter is written from about 2012 to 2013, although I only finished writing it quite recently, actually. So 2012 to 13, i.e. the distant, irrecoverable, long gone past. And the poem is called Catherine in the City to Crabstick in the Country. Crabstick is the actual real name of my best friend, Benjamin Crabstick. True story, he is very handsome. Okay, so Catherine in the City to Crabstick in the Country, and it begins, of course, like all letters, with the address. Also my real address at the time. Potato Wharf, Manchester, Sunday, 18th of September, 2012. Well, Ben, you'd never ask for me to write. You're much too proud. You'll swear that you're all right. You don't need anything from anyone. But you're in Cheshire, which cannot be fun. And you're my oldest, dearest, closest friend. I miss you. So, I have resolved to send you stories from the town to entertain you when you're bored of kills and cows and rain. This is the north. It's raining all the time. And as a bonus, put them all in rhyme. I know this choice is proof of how uncool I am, and would attract the ridicule of all right-thinking readers, even if my lines weren't crude, laborious, and stiff. I tell myself to not be such a freak, but I can't help it. When there's a technique that's hard, unpopular, and out of date, then like an arrant woman, I can't wait, precisely since it is a bad idea to start to use it straight away. So here, right now, I'm out of work. I cannot get my writing published. And of course, it's wet outside like 20 days a month. I'm sad. But Ben, I won't concede the world is bad, or not essentially. I still love all the secret bits of life. That Roman wall by the canal, that curry van, that car park where the kids all drink, that bar that's hidden in some sold-off public loos. I won't let go of joy. We must refuse to not be charmed. I want my life to be composed of beauty, love, and poetry. And I must live it here, unless I find a job somewhere. Not likely. I'm resigned. And so, I've joined one of those writing groups. I hang out with the amateurs and dupes and cranks. I say I'm looking for support. And isn't this the place for me? I ought to be at home amongst these mad old bats composing clumsy sonnets to their cats, and wide-eyed men in donkey jackets who have chosen to impart their points of view re war or social change or history through or Hegel through some free-verse elegy upon their local rubbish dump. They're sweet, and if we have a drink, they'll often treat me to a pickled egg or else a pack of crisps. I must look like I need a snack. I did Wednesday 21st. I'm learning Latin, mostly in the bath. I think the present suffers from a dearth of certain qualities like clarity or sense of humour, which in high degree are present in, well, I don't know, let's say in Horace. Though the modern public may not know it, this is what they ought to read, I think. Can I provide them what they need? Why not? I'm keen to learn, although I do have problems with deponent verbs, it's true, and yesterday I dropped my textbook, splat, into the water. Useless, clumsy twat. I did October 6th. I'm not just useless, though. I have a few abilities, like cooking. Crabstick, you should taste my unctuous roasted onions filled with mascarpone. I am highly skilled at stuffing. And you'll laugh, but I've agreed to help this dyke I met, who needs to feed the crowd who come each month to this event she started running, which she claims is meant as an alternative to mainstream gay commercial culture, called the Queer Cafe. The food must all be vegan and soy-free. This dyke is German, stands like 6'3" in knee-high stripy stockings, which she pairs with shorts and gilet. That is all she wears. She's like a priest. She's caring, hopeful, grave, and has this faith in something that will save us all. In her case, solidarity and knowledge of our hidden history. She tells me stories from the archives, where the Mollies cruised or Saphists met to share a drink, though not of alcohol, but tea. I guess she represents this pedigree herself, of thoughtful, temperate, polite inversion, drawing to her monthly night a little flock of awkward kids that are too meek to brave the crowds down at the bar. Those twinks with frosted tips and bottle tans, and dykes with Calvin boxer shorts and Vans, as if it's 1998, I swear. They shouldn't be so scary when they wear such dated clothes. And older ladies who have just transitioned, aged like 52, and wish that they could be in church instead. Nobody's ever drunk or off their head. Nobody talks. The German lady tries, but every topic she brings up just dies, and we go back to staring at the floor. And then, next month, we all come back for more. My girlfriend thinks I'm frittering my time away on Latin, cookery and rhyme. I need to leave our poky flat, she says, and find some work that actually pays, perhaps at Asda. But I'm in a bind. I'm overqualified for any kind of job that I could plausibly secure, but can't get ones my actual training's for. I fucked myself. I got a PhD. I'm pretty sure the only hope for me to get out of this trap is if I write a book that's clearly total dynamite, transsexual poets, sudden breakthrough hit, and Carsonet or Faber publish it. Sorry, shouldn't laugh, not enterdiegetic. Added January 2013, Bartlow, Cambridgeshire. Well, Crabstick, something happened. Can you guess? My girlfriend got a job in the US. We're moving. Well, she's moved, but I will too, for certain, once I get my visa through. For now, I'm writing from my mother's place. I'm an embarrassment and a disgrace. Her adult, deadbeat, tranny poet kid with weird opinions. So she keeps me hid up in the attic, like this was Jane Eyre. It's fine. Whatever. It's not like I care. Her friends are dickheads. I don't want to talk to them. And the pub's a bit too far to walk, and I can't drive, of course, and anyway, it's full of Tories. No, I'd rather stay at home alone. If only it was not so constantly, insufferably hot inside this house. It's like she wants to bake us all alive. I swear I'll have to break the thermostat, just rip the damn thing out. She's always watching me. She lurks about outside my door like some maternal spy. My only solace, all that gets me by, is waiting till I hear her turning in, then sneaking down and drinking all her gin. Added February 2013. My brother left behind his PS3 when he went off to university, and I've become addicted to this game called Skyrim. It's an RPG. The name you get by default for your character when you begin the game is Prisoner, and I can't seem to change this. When I meet a person in the game, they always greet me by this title. Salutations, ho! Well met, Sir Prisoner. It's apropos. But here I am, escaping. I'm a sort of highly muscled biped cat. I've fought a war and slain a dragon, and I've done all kinds of quests. I talk to everyone. My actions matter here. I get results. I bought a house. It had one of those cults of demon worshippers behind a trick partition wall, and so I had to kick them out. They left some bloodstains, but it's fine. I'm hoping to retire there. That line about the perfect joy of being well deceived keeps ringing like a distant bell inside my mind all night. I sit and play this game till dawn, and then I nap all day. Added 21st of February 2013. I need to run, to get some exercise. I know you run a lot. I'd recognize from miles off your gawky, steadfast stride. You are a camel of a man. You hide these huge reserves of energy, although without a hump that I can see. You'll go all day without a meal, through to 9 or 10 at night, but when you eat, you dine. We made one drunken night. Do you recall? Potato mountain pie. And ate it all, a foot in height, another 2 around. We had it with a good red wine I found for half what it was worth, mislabelled in a spa in Sheffield, a Penfolds bin. Which bin was it? I can't remember now. And you said, other people don't know how to live. That wine, in fairness, was a coup. And now I'm standing with a running shoe in either hand, attempting to exhort myself to go outside and do some sport, to run around until my face is red, until I'm sick, until I wish I'm dead. Added 1:45 a.m. Remember when we lived together, Ben? Ha ha! I guess we won't do that again. Remember when you left? I felt so spurned. You went back north. I stayed behind and turned your room into an office, which I took to mean a place to fail to write a book and watch cartoons on DVD and drink. I did my best to fight a tendency to think obsessively about that awful night when we went out to Bow and had a fight because I accidentally left your flash new scarf behind inside the hipster bash we'd crashed. You were so drunkenly bereft, but we had no idea which flat we'd left, and I was desperate, so I pressed like half the buzzers, shouting, "We just won his scarf!" And then that semi-famous artist guy, a total prick, and also clearly high on coke, came down and started to berate us. Finally, he slammed the steel plate apartment building door right on your schnoz. We had to catch a night bus home. It was becoming light. Your nose was bruised. It bled profusely. Even though I cried and pled for like 2 hours straight, you wouldn't say a word to me the whole entire way. I bought you a replacement in the end. We loved each other. It was love. A friend for friend, which is no lesser thing. What is involved in growing up? Such sadnesses. What was it that I hoped that you would do? I still don't know. I simply wanted you. Added September 2013. Well, Crabstick, I'm supposed to leave tonight. I'm packed. I have the visa and the flight. I don't expect you'll come to visit me. If it was Canada, you might. I'll see you sometime. Who knows when. I don't suppose I'll post this letter. It's not one of those you read. It's more a letter that you write. Although I think of you most days, despite myself, of our vainglory in our youth, our self-conviction that we knew the truth, which was hilarious, and our disdain for any prize that we might hope to gain. The things we wouldn't lift our arms to take. We were such stupid kids. But we were fake. We danced and drunk a lot. You could do worse with youth. Perhaps this move will break the curse. Perhaps I'll get my joie de vivre back, and then I'll write and send to you a stack of letters full of gossip, insight, wit. Although I'm tired now, I must commit to finding such a life. I'm certain that it's out there somewhere, Yours sincerely, Cat. Thank you, thank you. I can see you clapping. That's nice. I'm assuming all you blocked out people are clapping too. Hi. Okay. So that was the second one. Hope you enjoyed it. And finally, another shorter one to finish out. In November, as she said, I am publishing a novel in verse with 7 Stories Press. For those who aren't sure, a novel in verse is the opposite of a poet's novel. A poet's novel is written in prose, but is really poetry, whereas a novel in verse is written in verse, but is really a novel. Definitely a novel, characters, everything. My novel is called The Call Out, and it is about 6 queer, mostly trans women in Brooklyn making horrible mistakes over the course of a year. And so it begins on New Year's Eve. And I'm going to read just the very end of the second chapter. And so for most of the second chapter, we've been watching everybody's New Year's morning. So all these 3 couples have all been going about their life. And finally, at the end of the chapter, the narrator shows you a little bit of her life. And she's single, which is relevant, I guess. So much for these women and their useful labours. As for me, I'm pulled from a pleasant dream about trains at 8 by my bloody neighbour's child practicing the Star Wars theme again. Then again. I pull the cover over my ears. If you don't have a lover, then the world ought to compensate by letting you at least sleep in late. I fucking hate mornings, and living in a city, and the straight family that lives next door, and my stupid brain that can't ignore some child mistreating a famous ditty. Is it any wonder I'm depressed? All I want is to get some rest. I've often thought, if the world was my oyster, and I could somehow escape this snare I call my life, I'd live in a cloister, alone, up on a cliff somewhere, near the sea, so I could hear the beating of the waves on the rocks and walk without meeting a soul. Instead, what's available to me is my morning pot of green tea. I groan, get up, and heat the kettle to 77 degrees, and choose a yellow mountain. And while it brews, I put on some bark, and then I can settle down for a while, all curled up in my favourite chair with my favourite cup. I try to let go of my vexation and put myself in a state of calm. The choir is singing Luther's translation of the 130th Psalm. Obey uns ist der Sünden will, their voices tell me, and I almost feel comforted. The tea is such pure green, so vegetal, so sharp, so clean. It smells like life, like hay and flowers. At the bitter turning of the year, it promises spring is drawing near. The days ahead, full of hours. I drink the tea. The cantata plays. The years ahead, full of days. Thank you! Woo! Thank you very much, everybody. That was so much fun. It's kind of weird to read to a computer screen, but I tried. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to mute myself now. I never sent it to Ben. So I never sent it to him, but I have a group chat with me and my girlfriend and him and his boyfriend. And a little while ago, I was like, "Oh my god, you guys all know, right? That there's a movie coming out with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock in it, and it's a romantic comedy." I am like so excited. I'm like, finally, somebody made a movie where I'm the target audience. I didn't know this never happened before, and I'm like, yes, I want to see Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock in a romantic comedy. And also, Ben's boyfriend Joe is also interested in both Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock. So I sent them this thing like, look what's happening! Wow, so exciting! And then my girlfriend went into the group chat and said, I can beat that, and posted the Evergreen review link for the poem. So Ben has seen it now. We have actually talked since, and he did not mention it. He just absolutely pretended it hadn't happened. Oh, that is entirely in character for Benjamin Crabstick. He is a very, he's not what you would call an emotionally forthcoming person. He's extremely good at talking about other people's emotions, but talking about his own emotions is not really very possible for him. He would probably hate me telling you that. Yeah, shush, no one let Benjamin Crabstick see this. Um, oh no. I'm like a constant. This is why me and Ben are friends. Ben is really good at other people talking to him about their feelings, and I'm really good at talking about my feelings. So it was perfect. um, poor Ben. Lots of nights of me crying to him in bad bars. Yeah, definitely that country. Um, I have taken a few liberties, but broadly, I showed it to I showed the poem to my mother, and my mother was like, "I did not spy on you." She was very indignant, and I was like, "Yes, but I did sneak down and drink all of your gin." Um, um, so I would say broadly, I mean, there definitely is civil. There definitely is a bar in Manchester in an old public toilet. It's called the Temple of Convenience. It is fucking brilliant. It's such a great bar. It definitely is one of the things that does make life worth living in that rainy, depressing city. Lovely Manchester. Um, I would say about 90% of it is true. Um, Ben did get a steel plate apartment door slammed into his face by a notable YBA. Because this was like fucking 2009 or something. This was still the YBAs. We stole a bottle of Pimm's from Tracy Emin as well. And wrote lots of and wrote lyrics and wrote lines from Shakespeare in marker pen on the outside of the White Cube Gallery. That was a night. Anyway. Um, oh, confess to my minor youthful misdemeanors, Jesus. Really not that criminal at all, all things considered. Quite disappointed in myself. Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm so sorry. It happened to you twice. I really apologize. Yeah, Zoom is the vibe killer.